Welcome to JasonWhiskyWise. My name is Jason. Welcome today to a whiskey review and kind of like a flash blog, as I've been invited to one of these, and it's about this new product which is called the Singleton of Dufftown and the Malt Masters Selection. So Singleton of Dufftown Malt Masters Selection. This is a new product which is being released today, mainly here in the UK, I believe. And this is part from Diageo. Now, I was actually sent this sample by a gentleman called Steve Rush, also goes by the name of Whiskey Wire, the Whiskey Wire. And I'll leave his links up here. So he sent me this and he said to me, would you be possible to review this as a flash blog? And I said, sure, I don't mind, but it's 9 o'clock in the morning. I've got to post this video. And normally I post my videos in the evening. So don't worry, Pete Week will continue after, and I'll upload another video. So there'll be 2 videos today on my channel. So I was sent that, and I sent a few messages back saying, is there any information about this whiskey, or am I just being sent in? I was sent a little piece of paper which says, hi Jason, please find enclosed a sample of the brand new Singleton Malt Masters Selection, part of the Flash blog. We look forward to seeing your review. And I was kind of lost. I was like, where is the information? I was like, I like to give you guys a lot of information when I post these videos. So I did some digging. I did some clawing, and I found a little bit of notes that I could find online about this whiskey and about its launch here in London, actually, today. So, in terms of the actual age of this whiskey, it's a no-age statement. It's bottled at 40%, and it's kind of interesting because if any of you guys have ever not heard about Singleton, it's a bottling which Diageo do, and I'll leave a picture of a bottle here, see how it looks. It's kind of a very unique shaped bottle, but there's 3 different types of Singletons, and they come from different distilleries, one being Dufftown, the other one being Glendullan, and the third being Glen Ord. Now, what Diageo do is they bottle these as 12, 15, 18, some NAS expressions, and they send these to different parts of the world. So, I believe when I was in Taiwan, Glen Ord was specifically only in Taiwan. Dufftown was in the UK for the past couple of years, and I believe Glendullan was also sent to America, but recently I think they're changing everything around. Every few years, they rotate it so people get to try the different types of whiskey. The distillery itself is the Dufftown Distillery. It's actually owned by the parent company, Diageo, and they are located in Speyside, Scotland. So the actual price point on the full-size bottle is around about £30 to what I've read here in the UK, which is actually a very good price point. In terms of exclusivity, it's not going to be exclusive. It's going to be available everywhere. And the whole idea behind this whiskey is to break down the barriers and to open to a wider audience of whiskey lovers and drinkers and people just to get into the category of whiskey. Whether it be drinking it neat, sticking a cube of ice in it, creating a cocktail, different variant styles. It's meant to have that versatility to sort of cater to different palates. So, I'm actually dying right now to try this one. Let's get straight into the nose. So to begin on the nose, straight away for this Dufftown Malt Master Selection, it gives you these distinctive sort of summery fruity characters, orchard fruits, almost like apple juice. But it's like a sweeter version of apple juice, as if you ever had, when you have a sort of like your little one or you have a baby, you get them the apple juice that babies normally have, it's much more sweeter. It's got that sort of sweeter inclination to this side of apple juice characters. I'm getting a little bit of pear on this one, stewed pears, but not almost heavy, quite light, quite easy going. There's even a slight floral aspect playing itself. It's almost dancing around. Different aspects of your nose really got to pick out on this one. There's even a slight character that, for me, reminds me of green grapes in the summertime. And then there's a slight soft, sweet note that really comes off on the end. And for me, it's almost like the icing that you use on top of making a cake, the fondant icing. It's exactly like that. It's got that nice sweetness, but not sickly sweet, so to speak. And there is a soft bit of spiciness just on the end of this one. And it's more on the lines of almost like a white peppery spice. But it's very gentle in nose, very inviting. And I can see where they're saying it's meant to open up to a wider audience. It's very easygoing, very summery. So let's get straight into the palate next. Slanger. So now into the palate. Straight away, the arrival on the palate is light. It's mellow. It's easygoing. It's gentle. It's not so aggressive, it's not viscous. In terms of the flavor profile, straight away off the back, I'm getting quite a citrusy character. It's almost like a bit of lemongrass, and then you get a little sweeter citrus character, which for me, gives me that character of almost like a hard-boiled lime sweet, which has got like when you bite through it, you get a little bit of burst of lime sherbet coming through, a little bit of those characters coming through in terms of the lime profile. And then you work into almost like a vanilla sponge cake. As you go further through this one, it then gets a little bit of a slight bit of spice, but then you're greeted instantly by these sort of very nice peaches that are in a syrup sauce that normally you get in a tin. And then to follow it up, you get a little bit of this almost like a Victoria sponge cake, another cakey character, but quite mellow, and a little bit of raspberry jam in the mixture of that, with a bit of dusting of icing sugar, just sweetening things out on the middle of the palate. Very easy going on the palate, I can definitely say, but it's quite light in general, so it's quite a summery whiskey. Let's get into the finish, and then we'll come to my conclusion and give you my rating. So working our way off the finish now, the finish for this overall whiskey for me, it's on the lines of, I'd say, a short finish. I'm getting these sort of sweeter, caramelly notes, and they sort of round off these edges that I get all these nice fruity aspects of apricots, peaches, and it's sort of combined with these sort of caramelly wafers, and the whole thing sort of finishes rather quickly with a slight oaky presence. And for me, I'm going to say it's a bit like cedarwood. It just sort of dries the palate ever so slightly, and then completely the finish is gone. I feel a bit too abruptly for my liking. Now I'm going to give my rating, and then I'll explain a little bit about it. So I'm giving this one here at 83 out of 100. The Singleton of Dufftown Malt Master Selection. Overall, it's a nice whiskey. It offers a very nice summery profile. However, when you look for complexity, when you look for depth, it doesn't offer these. I believe this is what you would call a beginner's whiskey. It's quite easygoing, mellow. It's not something, like, I believe if someone's not a whiskey drinker, this could be one of those ones that would get them into drinking whiskey. However, for my personal liking, I just find it a bit too light and a bit too, I don't get that oomph of it when I get these different characters. It's very summery though. That's where you get a lot of the apples, the apricots, and the peaches. And the spice level, I think, is just perfect, where you're not getting too much, but you are getting just a little bit of it. So value for money, if it is £30, and because I didn't get information, that's what makes the judgment on this one as well so difficult. But if it is £30, the information I've found, then by all means, that's good value for money. For the quality of the whiskey, you're not expecting to get lots of complexity. So £30, I think that's very decent. For would I add water or would I give the whiskey time? I did give this one time when I tried it before the video, and it actually developed a much more sort of fruitier profile. So giving this one time is something I'd recommend. However, I would like to try, as they did, I think I read on Master Malt, say that there is sort of different cocktails and all these sort of different ways of mixing it. So maybe I might get an opportunity at some point in the future. However, either way, I think it's a decent whiskey. It's not too bad, but at the same time, I just wish it had a little bit more character and depth to it. So 83 out of 100 is my rating. Let me know what you guys think. If you ever get your chance to try this one, down below in the comment section. And if you have enjoyed the video, by all means, feel free to drop it a thumbs up. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. And I might do some other Singleton videos if I get a chance. I'll leave them on the screen here. But this has been me, Jason WhiskyWise, a quiet Mr. Bananas. And we'll catch you all for the next video. Slàinte.